Life has a way of whispering to us before it shouts. Sometimes that whisper is a question in the back of your mind. Is this all there is? A quiet voice that wonders if the life you're living is truly the one you're meant for. This is the story of Ethan. An ordinary man, at least that's what he always believed. Ethan grew up in a small town. His life was simple. Wake up, go to work, come home, eat dinner, sleep. Pete. He had no extraordinary achievements, no medals, no titles. People around him never expected much from him, and deep down, he didn't expect much from himself either. He worked at a local hardware store, stocking shelves and helping customers. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid the bills. His co-workers barely noticed him. To them, he was invisible, just another face in the crowd, and Ethan believed them. He told himself, I'm average. I'm ordinary, nothing more. But inside, he carried something he didn't yet understand. A restless feeling, like a flame waiting for oxygen. One evening, after another long day, Ethan sat alone in his small apartment. He scrolled through his phone, watching stories of athletes breaking records, entrepreneurs building companies, and artists inspiring millions. A single thought pierced through him. Why not me? Then came the doubt just as quickly. Because I'm not like them. I wasn't born special. I don't have what it takes. That night, he went to bed with the weight of two voices battling inside him. One telling him he was destined to remain ordinary, and the other daring him to believe otherwise. The next morning, something unusual happened. Ethan overslept, missed the bus, and had to run across town to make it to work. By the time he arrived, he was drenched in sweat, lungs burning, and strangely, he felt alive. For the first time in years, he felt his heart beating with purpose. He thought, when was the last time I pushed myself like this? That evening, instead of collapsing on the couch, he went outside and ran again. Not far, not fast, just enough to feel that same fire. That small decision became a spark. Ethan didn't transform overnight. He didn't suddenly become a champion or a genius, but every day, he made one choice. He chose to run instead of sit. He chose to read instead of scroll. He chose to learn instead of complain. Weeks turned into months. The man who once lived in autopilot was slowly waking up. His body grew stronger, his mind clearer, his confidence louder. For the first time in his life, he began to believe that maybe, just maybe, he was capable of more. But life always tests us when we start to change. One winter, Ethan signed up for a small community marathon. He trained for weeks, but on race day, the cold air bit into his lungs, and halfway through, his legs gave out. He collapsed on the side of the road, embarrassed, humiliated, and ready to quit. The voice of doubt returned. See, you'll never be extraordinary. You'll always be ordinary. But then something inside him shifted. He remembered the nights he chose discipline over comfort, the mornings he chose effort over excuses. And with trembling legs, he stood back up. He didn't finish first. He didn't win a medal. But he crossed the finish line. For Ethan, that was victory. That race lit a fire in him. He realized the secret wasn't about being born extraordinary. It was about becoming extraordinary through choices, persistence, and resilience. He began to push further. He applied for a leadership role at work, and to his surprise, got it. He started helping local teens train for sports, teaching them discipline through fitness. He became someone others looked up to, not because he was perfect, but because he had refused to stay ordinary. Ethan discovered a truth. Potential isn't something you're given. It's something you unlock, one decision at a time. And now I want to turn to you. Maybe you see yourself in Ethan. Maybe you've lived years thinking you're just average, just ordinary, invisible in the crowd. But here's the truth. You have more inside you than you realize. You carry potential, waiting to be unlocked. And it doesn't take a miracle. To find it, it takes one small choice, one run, one book, one act of courage. The extraordinary life isn't out of reach. It's built choice by choice, step by step, until one day you look back and realize you are no longer the person you once were. Ethan's story reminds us all, greatness isn't about being born special. It's about refusing to stay the same. From ordinary beginnings, you can rise into extraordinary outcomes. From overlooked potential, you can create lasting impact. From the smallest spark, you can ignite a fire that changes your life. So remember, you don't have to be extraordinary to begin, but you have to begin to become extraordinary.